Imagine a state spending billions on armies and armies of guards to protect its funds. These armies keep sleeping while custodians loot state funds like enemy property. This is not a fiction, but a bitter reality for Multan Electric Power Company, MEPCO. MEPCO custodians and guardians use procurement like a gun to rob and shift billions to their frontmen shown to the world as suppliers. The loot put in top gear after dumping the utility deep in bankruptcy years before its silver jubilee. This rampage of public funds continued while over a dozen armies of watchdogs and regulators costing billions to the nation see nowhere. MEPCO, a story of rise and fall, corruption rising, MEPCO falling. MEPCO, where management and board come and go, leaving the utility losing billions more and deeper in crises. The utility is plagued with multiple diseases, corruption the most dominating that knocked it down and finished it off. The utility is like a dead patient whose continuous external support is threatening breakdown of whole system. Rise in tariff and subsidy has not only become unsustainable, but a serious threat to state financial sovereignty. The story began on July 1, 1998, when MEPCO started its operations by inheriting running power distribution system from Water and Power Development Authority, WAPDA. Vast network, the utility inherited from WAPDA, estimated to have about 50,000 transformers. These transformers, some of them are 40 years old, are still working. In fact, these old transformers are standing against total collapse. Poor quality transformers, bought later on, especially after 2012, posing to the system. Calculations based on actual record of last 16 and a half years puts transformers total procurement of 24 years ending on June 30th, 2022 at 458,000. On the other hand, MEPCO having only 224,000 transformers on its system at the end of 2022 is mind-blowing. 234,000 transformers are missing. Further dive in the record is shocking. The number of transformers not reaching MEPCO actually jumps to an alarming 284,000, with cost close to rupees 70 billion. This is one side of the story, the other is equally catastrophic. MEPCO purchased, especially since 2012, junk in the name of transformers at gold price. Most of these did not reach. Those reached played havoc with the utility. Naturally, these very poor quality transformers could not stay on the system long, soon started returning from the network at double the speed. This created panic, so forced those in power to resume WAPDA repair workshop service. After about a decade, MEPCO-owned private and WAPDA workshops worked day and night, but could not handle the flood of scrap emanating from the network, despite repairing a record number of more than 10,000 transformers in 1 year. What happened next entitles MEPCO management and board top position in the world of corruption. The flood of junk diverted to the suppliers of junk. Even Pakistan enemies would have thought 100 times before awarding repair contract to the suppliers of these substandard transformers. MEPCO board approved repairing contracts with the suppliers of these transformers without a question. Now, two stream of contracts, one for new transformers, other for their repair. A firm most favorite to MEPCO management and board was under investigation of NAB, National Accountability Bureau, on serious charges of making transformers from scrap. No business with this most favorite firm for 2 years made those in power impatient, so decided to write to and seek NAB permission to resume business with it, which they got, and celebrated opening of another avenue to make money. This permission to resume business with the firm was in fact addition of the dirtiest chapter in the ugly book of corruption. Now purchase order after purchase order for new transformers, work order after work order for their repair, new junk at gold price, repaired at diamond. Just a small example explains how permission to resume business with this firm used to empty MEPCO coffers. Record is pointing to a plan to buy 130 repaired transformers as brand new. A tender to buy 130 brand new transformers floated without any justification whatsoever. Almost a dozen firms buying bidding documents. Only this favorite submits the bid and is made to run away with the contract. Repaired junk at diamond price. What followed leave even the most corrupt far behind. Record suggests only 150 million out of 1,500 millions drawn from MEPCO spent on the utility. It's not the transformers that did not reach MEPCO. Meters, poles say the same story. Millions of meters, hundreds of thousands of poles procured but never received. Payment of over 4 billion for power purchase without getting a single watt is a confirmation of corruption ruling MEPCO. These cases are certificates of total breakdown of all systems and controls and complete collapse of all regulatory and accountability institution. MEPCO is a case worse than Law of Jungle, and what did the board do when faced with this grim reality? Instead of ordering a thorough investigation, they opted fiduciary bankruptcy and partnership in crime. Over 60% of transformers never received, billions overpaid on poor quality transformers that did reach. It's not just the story of one utility invaded by corruption. It's a story of crumbling institutions, disappearance of governance, and rampage of corruption. MEPCO's tale serves as a stark warning for similar institutions, highlighting the broader implications of unchecked corruption and mismanagement. In summary, the scale of corruption within MEPCO is a shocking revelation. From inception in 1998, key decision-making dictated by personal interest, the missing equipment, the overpayments, the lack of governance, all these factors have contributed to the downfall of MEPCO. The implication is total devastation. Bankrupt power sector, circular debt, continuing march after crossing state capacity, country ducking sword of default. Corruption has pushed the country at the bottom and working hard to push it further down. Following China policy of ruthless accountability is the only hope of state survival. Time is running out fast.